Very nice.
Called Susan too, because she thought she was losing water. She wanted to put water with food at the same time or something.
Oh,
Yes.
Food don't have water.
It does.
I'm glad that they found that. Take as hot as it's been, lucky it ain't raining.
Well, that's correct.
I swear. Really? You cover yours with that, cover those. You know, I guess the best over this other story.
It's parties.
We need to,
Court come to order.
bring this, meeting to order on the, proposed budget for 2026. Okay, the budget, reads as follows. The mayor and city council of Blue Ridge of Mccaysville, from the Niece Queen Deputy Clerk. This is a projected budget. City funds, projected revenue, $1,693,450. Use of reserves, $92,550. For a total of $1,786,000. Projected expenses, administration, $345,910. Municipal court, $92,165,000. Police department, $836,900. Street department, $344,625. City park, $166,400 for a total of $1,786,000. For the water and sewer, projected revenue, $2,384,950. Use of reserves, $312,600 for a total of $2,697,550. Projected expenses, water distribution, $2,227,050. Sewer collections and disposal, $362,500. Water treatment plant, $108,000 for a total of $2,697,550.
I would have a discussion or open the public comments before we do that.
Any discussion? Public comments. You won't have anything to bring up about that? Okay.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, sir,
Yes, sir.
just wanted to let the public know and the rest of the city council, I know I spoke with Commissioner Cocker, and our finance director, Jalita there, and, we get a grant for $150,000 that offsets that $836,900. So once that grant is applied towards the end of the fiscal year, our total budget will be $686,900. So like I said, over the past 2 years now, I really appreciate us applying for that grant through the state of Georgia, because that helps our budget tremendously. So just want to let everyone know that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, now I'm gonna read the ordinance for this section. Ordinance number 25-08-12, A resolution and ordinance providing for the appropriations and expenditures of funds for the government of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia for the city fiscal year 2026, beginning July the 1st, 2025, and ending June the 30th, 2026, providing for the operations of city departments, boards, agencies, elected officials, and other governmental activities, to provide for the level of personnel authorized for the various departments and agencies, to provide for capital improvements as budgeted for the city, to provide an effective date, and for other purposes. Whereas the mayor submitted to the council a revenue estimate for the following year and proposed budget that will govern expenditures of all funds expected to be available to the city for the following year, including expenditures relating to capital outlays and public works projects. And whereas the mayor has caused to be published a copy of the proposed budget along with all required public notices, and whereas the council held a public hearing on, is that today's date? On August the 12th, 2025. And whereas the mayor has set forth and presented in his proposed budget and recommendations to the council his recommendations for positions and departments, which include all departments. Therefore, it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the city of Mccaysville as follows. Section 1, pursuant to OCGA, Section 36-81-1, as amended, the sums of money summarized in Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part of this resolution, an ordinance shall be and are hereby adopted by the council as the operating budget and capital budget for the government of Mccaysville, Georgia for fiscal year 2026, beginning on July the 1st, 2025, and ending on June the 30th, 2026. An ordinance providing for the appropriations and expenditures of funds for the government of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia for the fiscal year 2026. Section 2, the appropriations of all funds for all departments and agencies shall be set forth in Exhibit A. Section 3, the funds provided and contracts made herein for the procurement of supplies, materials, and services for all departments and agencies shall be expended in accordance with the budget, its attachments, and purchasing policies and procedures established by the city. Section 4, the financial transactions of all city departments and agencies authorized to expend city funds shall be recorded and maintained in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and standards. Section 5, the budget documents and attachments entitled Fiscal Year 2026 Adopted Budget for the City of Mccaysville, Georgia shall be maintained on file in the clerk of the City of Mccaysville and available for public inspection. Section 6, all ordinances, resolutions, or other acts or parts thereof in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 7, this resolution and ordinance shall be effective on the date of its approval by the council.
Close the meeting now.
If there's nothing.
Any
There's no
other
discussion.
questions or comments? Need a motion to close this special meeting.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay.
One year honeymoon.
Mom and Dad are on the license.
Really? Engineer.
They come back tomorrow.
About world traveler. They were on 30 days.
Oh my God. 60-something days.
60 days.
Australia, and I'm sure there's Spain.
So I told Kim, I said, you know, they can build a house, just living there, they're never there.
I know.
Okay, we'll start with our regular scheduled meeting. We'll start out with the, we've already had our prayer already, so we'll just go on with the order of business, they need a motion for approval of last month's minutes, please.
Make a motion, sir.
I said,
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the next item would be approval of the bills for August payment.
I make a motion that the bills for August be paid.
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. On the new business, we go back to the budget. Once again, we'll read that and vote on that. Okay, the proposed budget from January 1, 2025, July 1, 2025 to June 30, 2026. General funds, projected revenue, $1,693,450. Use of reserves, $92,550,000. Projected expenses, administrative, $345,910. Municipal court, $92,165. Police department, $836,900 minus the $150,000 grant money would be $686,900. Street department, $344,625. City park, $166,400, for a total of $1,786,000. Water and sewer service, projected revenue, $2,384,950. Use of reserves, $312,600, for a total of $2,697,550. Projected expenses, water distribution, $2,227,050. Sewer collection and disposal, $362,500. Water treatment plant, $108,000, for a total of $2,697,550. Okay.
Okay, I will again read the budget ordinance number 25-08-12. A resolution and ordinance providing for the appropriations and expenditures of funds for the government of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia, for the city fiscal year 2026, beginning July the 1st, 2025, and ending June the 30th, 2026, providing for the operations of city departments, boards, agencies, elected officials, and other governmental activities, to provide for the level of personnel authorized for the various departments and agencies, to provide for capital improvements as budgeted for the city, to provide an effective date, and for other purposes. Whereas the mayor submitted to the council a revenue estimate for the following year and proposed budget that will govern expenditures of all funds expected to be available to the city for the following year, including expenditures relating to capital outlays and public works projects. And whereas the mayor has caused to be published a copy of the proposed budget along with all required public notices. And whereas the council held a public hearing on August the 12th, 2025. And whereas the mayor has set forth and presented in his proposed budget and recommendations to the council, his recommendations for positions and departments, which include all departments. Therefore, it is hereby ordained by the governing authority of the city of Mccaysville as follows. Section 1, pursuant to OCGA 36-81-1, has amended the sums of money summarized in Exhibit A attached hereto and made a part of this resolution and ordinance, shall be and hereby adopted by the council as the operating budget and capital budget for the government of Mccaysville, Georgia, for fiscal year 2026, beginning on July the 25th, July the 1st, 2025, and ending on June the 30th, 2026. An ordinance providing for the appropriations and expenditures of funds for the government of the city of Mccaysville, Georgia, for the city fiscal year 2026. Section 2, the appropriations of all funds for all departments and agencies shall be as set forth in Exhibit A. Section 3, the funds provided and contracts made herein for the procurement of supplies, materials, and services for all departments and agencies shall be expended in accordance with the budget, its attachments, and purchasing policies and procedures established by the city. Section 4, the financial transactions of all city departments and agencies authorized to expend city funds shall be recorded and maintained in accordance with generally accepted accounting principles and standards. Section 5, the budget documents and attachments entitled Fiscal Year 2026, adopted budget for the city of Mccaysville, Georgia, shall be maintained on file in the clerk of the city of Mccaysville and available for public inspection. Section 6, all ordinances, resolutions, or other acts or parts thereof in conflict with this ordinance are hereby repealed. Section 7, the resolution and ordinance shall be effective on the date of its approval by the council.
Okay, we will need a motion to approve the 2025-2026 budget.
Make a motion.
Second.
I second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the next thing on the agenda is the approval of the 2025 millage rate. At this time, the 2025 millage rate, the tax levy for this year is $120,789, and that's the rollback millage rate of 2.2% is approved. I would need a motion to approve the millage rate.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, I'm assuming everybody kind of got your tax notice from the county, which includes the city part too. And the way that looks, just exactly like it did last year, if we hadn't have voted to opt out of those deal with the state, wanted us to go in to do that, you would have just got a bill that would have showed your actual payment. It would have not broke anything down, would have not divided anything up. So with us going with that option, it still shows everybody what each and every one of those would be. So that was what was on our minds about doing that earlier this year. So it worked out, I believe, like we needed it to.
Can I caution you on one thing with that though?
Yes, ma'am.
Because what they put on those assessments notices was before you adopted this rollback millage rate, so they used the prior year's millage rate. Now, property reassessments could change, your property tax could be more,
Yeah.
or it could be less,
Yeah,
so.
mine went up. So, yeah. Yeah, okay. But that will be the rollback millage rate, correct? Okay. Okay, the next item is a forklift purchase for the water department.
Yeah, I think we've
Jason.
got an opportunity to purchase this forklift. I think it was a Terry or Davey come across it. It's just the other day we utilized it to unload a truck, and usually it takes us 3 guys and at least half a day or a whole day, and it took one guy with, a couple hours. So I think it's a good opportunity. How much was the forklift that they?
$5,500.
$5,500, and you can't hardly work on one for less than that anymore. So, but if everybody's good with that, I'd like it to come out of our normal budget. So I think.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Go ahead with it.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, the next item, we talked about this before, it could maybe even be some in the old business, but the park building renovation and restroom repair, that would be for the building that is there now that we're using as a warehouse, to add a bathroom on that area and improve the inside of that, which would be one room, and insulating that. But we have not gotten the estimates. We're supposed to have been here yesterday, they were not, for the heating and cooling system, which would be one of those mini split units just to heat and cool the one small area instead of trying to take care of the whole thing. The bathroom would be on the roadside, going out toward that, because that's the closest where the sewer is, and it would be a unisex restroom facility, also handicap accessible for that. So just put that on there, but nothing we can do about it until we get the other estimates for that. So we got some additional folks supposed to be doing that for us. So the next item of business is the credit card situation. I'd like Denise kind of explain what we've been asked to do about that.
Our CBA has asked us to do away with using the debit cards totally, just because of fraud, and that we have more security using the credit card. And she suggested that, take the council, see what y'all thought, and go, maybe get 2 cards, one for myself and then one for Tammy in the event that I'm out, because Davey and Michael already has a credit card, so we would just need 2 additional cards. And then we would do away with the debit cards for both water and city.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I would need a motion to do that,
I
please.
make a motion that we do that.
Second.
I'll second.
All in favor? Any opposed? Okay, kind of in old business, the LMIG grant for 2026 that we talked somewhat about last meeting. Has anyone got any other streets that you can think of that need to be taken care of before we would do the one here on the West Tennessee side? We still got a little bit of time, right? Probably another couple of months before we have to do that or so.
I think it's February, actually.
Okay, so we still got some time, so let's really look that over and do the best use of that we can. Those could use it, but it's not the worst. And still, if we talked about Sutton Street, and that is still supposed to be in there, the county's agenda to take care of their part of it before winter time on fall paving season. So, okay.
Terry, I got a quick comment.
Yes, sir.
Kind of comment on that. Is it possible to use some of that up there and on Hillcrest where the big stump's at? We're waiting to get that dug out. The stump the tree was cut down, and was waiting to do.
I believe that was already budgeted one time, right? Where we have to get the stump dug out. Isn't that already a budgeted item from a couple of years ago?
It was.
It was, yeah.
Okay,
So it's already, we're just waiting on to do it. Okay. Okay.
yeah. Or that's what I've been told about that. We're just waiting on them, correct, Larry?
Yeah.
Okay, the next item would be council members. Anyone need anything they need to present tonight?
Talk about the water department a second. As y'all know, we put in those new meters. They're reading good. I know Terry called me and said, hey, you might have a leak, but it was just Christie out there using a lot of water. So good there, but they put in 2 of the satellite responders. We're picking up, what would you say, probably 60-70% of the meters maybe. So that looks good. We got a 3rd one to put up. We're trying to find the best spot to put it to hopefully read all of them without putting the 4th in. We've done it internally. I know with the help of Terry and our guys, they've saved at least $11,000 or more per pole. So that's $22,000 plus another one when we put it up. So that's been a huge help. The guys have been working real hard, and it'll save a lot of time too, them not having to go around and physically read meters. So they're going to be able to catch up on a lot of leaks and stuff. We received this letter from a person that called. They had an outage. I was going to read it. Just kind of kudos to our crews out there. But it says it's from Lee James and Tony Legg, and they says, "Hello, this letter is to say how pleased I am with the good service as we continue to receive from the water, Mccaysville Water. Yesterday we had our line broken by a company digging a cable line that's affected about 100 customers. Within 3 hours, Mccaysville Water sent a crew, track hoe, and gravel truck to repair line and restore water service. Any interaction we've had with the meter readers, to ground crew, to phone personnel has been pleasant and professional. Thanks again." So that's a crew to the people in the staff, or people in here on the staff that's in the office, and then our crew too. So I just thought that was but you don't get that all the time. Usually it's usually just hear complaints. So appreciated that. And if you see the guys out there working, a lot of times they're in mud and working hard. Just be patient with them as they're getting stuff fixed. But that's all I got.
Okay, and along with the road that we talked about today, they did mention, I want to mention it again, that they are starting the water and sewer lines again. They're out those apartments right at the end of the city limits, so be prepared for some water outages, I'm sure. Because they got really started the last time, it was like 4 or 5 a day we had to repair, so just please be patient about that, but call and let us know if your water is out, so we can make sure we get people there to take care of it. Okay, anyone else? Anything? Okay, Nancy, you, Denise, have anything we need to know? Okay, Mr. Michael Early.
Fell asleep.
Chief Early. Michael?
Can you hear me, Nancy?
Oh, I can now.
Okay, sorry about that. So a few things, Mayor, just to go over. We had one of our officers resign here a few weeks ago, and we have a part-time officer, Brantley Wordley, who's been with me for 2 years now. And I would ask the council if they would to put him on full-time on a 90-day probationary period, and then we can address it again in 90 days to see his probationary period's been filled out.
Okay. We have a motion. Need a second.
Susan made a
Motion
motion.
already made. Okay,
Yes.
sorry. I wasn't looking your way.
Need a second.
Yeah, I'll second.
Okay, all in favor? Any opposed? Okay. All right, Michael, anything else?
Yes, we ordered our vest that I talked about last month. They're level 3 vests. They was ordered. Of course, they'll be paid for out of SPLOST funds. As y'all know, we have had a numerous amount of law enforcement officers shot in the past 2 weeks in the state of Georgia, which ranks us number 2 in the nation right now as far as police officers get killed. And so I'm excited that we're going to get these vests, and these vests will stop any handgun. And they'll also stop up to a 308 rifle once the plate carriers are put in place for that. The fence was put in down at the PD. If you've not been down that way towards the Park PD precinct, I encourage you that you do. The fence has been put in place, and it's really helping as far as parking goes and people trying to block that road. The crosswalk that I talked about last month, going from Riverwalk Shops over towards the People's Bank side on Blue Ridge Drive. I have talked to a contractor about that. No price has been given yet, obviously. He's busy, and he told me as soon as he could get to it, he would get to it. And that's something, of course, we can pay for out of SPLOST. And possibly, if we have any LMIG money left over, we could do that crosswalk with that. Also need, if I can, Mayor and Council, a motion to replace the flags on the steel bridge. We have to replace those about once every 7 months, and I'm sure y'all seen them. They're starting to fade out again, and just need to order some new flags, get those replaced as soon as possible.
I make the motion that we get the new flags, those on the bridge.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
The 5K race went well. One of the biggest turnouts we had as far as the 5K goes in town. For those of y'all that don't know what, the money goes towards, the money on those 5Ks goes towards our fireworks display every year, and the business association pays for that. So grateful to have those 5Ks come in town, because that allows us to do our Independence Day festivities for the town. So I appreciate the turnout we had on that. Also, as y'all know, y'all looked at the budget here recently. You can see how much money our municipal court is taking in. We're not about making money for municipal court. Obviously, we're not in the ticket writing business just to write tickets and make money. But unfortunately, we have become very busy. We have sheriff's office personnel and Georgia State Patrol in our city as well, trying to enforce traffic violations. And as Commissioner Cocker and you as well, Mayor, know, and Courtney, that we have a huge turnout of, unfortunately, people that show up to court each month. I think we are projected to have over 100 in court next month. And these can range from DUIs all the way down to a simple ordinance violation as far as an unfit dwelling or home in the city. And Becky Kelly's been with me, I believe, almost 3 years now, part-time. And I would ask the council if they would to make her full-time, because it's definitely turned into a full-time job. 3 years ago, when we hired her part-time, obviously, we did not think that would turn into a full-time job, but it has. We got people coming to the PD every single day, wanting to pay their fines, wanting to ask questions about court and their bonds. And obviously, if she's not there, it causes an issue. So the 3 days she's been working part-time is just not enough to keep up with everything she's got going on, and therefore she's getting a lot of hours as we speak now, because she's having to work so much just to catch up before the next month's court. So I would ask the council if they would to put her on full-time. She has requested she does not want insurance with the city. All she wants is a holiday pay and sick time as a full-time employee, but no insurance.
We need to vote.
We need a motion.
Okay, I make the motion that Becky becomes
Second.
full-time.
Have a second. All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. Okay.
And as y'all know, Mayor and Council, if you don't know, she is paid out of municipal court, that budget, not the police department's budget. And just to clarify that, to let y'all know. So that's all I have for right now, Mayor.
Okay. Thank you, Michael.
Yes, sir.
Don't hang up.
Hold on a minute, though. Miss Courtney, you have anything?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, and we'll get down to the public comments. I want to thank everybody that came down last Tuesday night, the first Tuesday. We had probably close to 150 people down there. Started right at 6 o'clock and kind of finished up probably about time everybody loaded up and got going right around 8:15 to 8:30, something like that. But very successful. A lot of people really happy about it. Some really good music. A lot of people just brought their instruments and played after that, so it was a real good time. It was fun watching a lot of the folks really have a good time. So the next one is, I believe it's September the 2nd, correct? It'll be the first Tuesday. So day after, it's Labor Day. So that's when that will be. Okay. Anybody else before we have public comment? Okay, we'll open it up for public comment. Yes, ma'am.
Mike, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, this is Timberland Tanner, and in the last 2 days, we have an overflow of 18-wheeler gas tankers coming down our street. Is there something that we are not aware of that's going on, that these tankers are coming down West Tennessee Avenue and going past the copper curb and going on out further out?
I will have to look into that, Timberland. I've been gone since Sunday, but the bridge on West Tennessee Avenue, right there at Quinn's Nursery, is rated. And if I am not mistaken, it's not rated for semi-trucks. But I can look into that and find out. But as far as I know, there's nothing going on that I know anything about.
Okay, I'd appreciate
But
that.
I'll be back Thursday morning, and I'll try to address that when I return.
Okay, thank you.
Were you talking about like gas station tankers, trucks, or LP
Yes.
gas trucks?
No, big tankers,
Gas.
not
regular-
LP.
Regular.
Yes,
Gas.
gas. Mhm.
If that bridge isn't, there's a lot of, because I work from home, and there's a lot of tractor trailers that come up and down, usually hauling lumber and stuff. But if that bridge isn't rated, they don't need to be coming that way.
No, I know it's got a low rating. I'm not sure what it is, but I don't think it's.
It's all
What we
day.
have, yes.
There's a lot of, I don't know where they're building, but it's all day.
It may be an enforcement, DOT enforcement bunch. We have to get a hold of on that.
Okay.
Maybe.
And those gas tankers were all from the same company. And I didn't write down the name of the company, but if I see them tomorrow, I will write down the name of them.
Good.
Get a picture of them on your phone.
Or I'll try to get a picture on my phone, I'm not that fast.
We gotta be ready when we're sitting on our front porch.
Anything on our
Website?
website that you?
I'm working on the city directory still. I had one plug in. It wasn't working the way I wanted it to. So now I'm trying to find a different one. And is there any way, you mentioned like the first Tuesdays, is there any way I can get like that list emailed to me or something where I'll know, where I can put it on the calendar on the website?
Well, we probably have one group that will be, that starts it,
Okay,
and they play this time like
okay,
45 minutes or so,
gotcha.
and then everybody else, Tamron was there, just everybody else started playing, you know. We had people from everywhere,
I
LJ,
just
Jasper,
didn't know what days it was. Is it going to be the first Tuesday of every month
first Tuesday of every, yeah.
until what, October or
Well, when
every
we
month?
finish up, when it's cold and it gets cold enough we can't have it here, we'll probably have it at Copper Hill City Hall there in the old Y.
Okay.
And try to keep it going that way and switch back and forth. The other thing I can tell you now, after this Saturday, this coming Saturday, is the farmer's market.
Greg and I talked about that the other day, so
you know
yeah.
about that. So for everybody else, we have a lady that was running the one at Blue Ridge, and she does it strictly voluntary. And most all the folks from Blue Ridge came down here. We have a few, 8 or 10. But they're all local, most of them, and she knows all of them, and she'd ask about doing that. And so we'll just have to get out to block the road and all the trash cans, and she's gonna handle all of the vendors, and they have asked to go all the way to Christmas. Which, I'm good with that if they are, but they better have some good clothes when it gets about November. It'll be cold on that bridge, I promise you. So, that just shows how well it's growing, and things that we're doing that are very positive for the city. And it was fun to see all those people and them thanking everybody for being there and having it. Tamerlan, a bunch of there was there, but there was about 150 or so, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It kind of just, like there wasn't nobody coming, and all at once it just boom. And they just kept coming in, so a good time, very good weather for it. It's a little muggy, but good weather for it being.
It really wasn't that bad.
So, just a nice, very nice thing, so. Okay. Yes, sir.
Regarding the success of the market, has there been any further consideration of, I know that the Trout Fest is still very interested in participating, bringing that attention, revenue, money, jobs over here, but accounting for maybe just a one-time variation that would allow a special designated area that they could sell just a beer tent. That's the one thing that's a big moneymaker for them. But is that something that could maybe be reconsidered? I know that maybe there's some resistance to opening up adult beverages in this area, but it's such a great event, and if they want to come here, it's just something to think about. And I guess the question is, has that been reconsidered at all?
Yeah, we've talked with them and supposed to have some additional meetings with them on that.
Okay.
So we'll see kind of how that turns out on that.
Okay.
But, yeah. So, yes, sir.
My name's Frank Lather. I was here in February, I believe it was, to request a variance from my parking pad on
Yes, sir.
37 Hillcrest. And I think some of the members had requested before I did the house that I had some blueprints brought back. I haven't, had official blueprints drawn, but I did some sketches because it's kind of hard to get the official blueprints drawn until I know how much space I have. And so I've finished the parking pad, and the variance that I was given on that was 7 feet from the property lines. And so the lot is, although it looks straight, once it was surveyed, it's kind of on an angle. And but I'm here to request that same variance for the house. I have some sketches of just hand sketches of what I'm planning on doing, but I'd like to request to have 7 feet on each side like the parking pad is, and then I'll stay, the house would be 25 foot from Green Street and at least 25 feet or more from the Hillcrest side, but I can't really move forward until I get those variances. Is that possible to get that tonight?
So can we see your pass these around? These are the two property lines you're talking about?
Yes, sir. And then so the house will actually set on the retainer wall that's the parking pad, which is 25 feet off of Green Street.
Okay.
So it'll set there, and it'll be approximately 48 feet towards Hillcrest, which I haven't really pulled measurements, but it'll be probably 25 to 35 feet off of the Hillcrest Street also. But there's a row of trees that my neighbors have, so I'm trying to push everything over, and then the house next door is right on the property line, so It's kind of, if I can get 7 feet on each side, that gives me, 38 feet to work with some deck, walkway around the house and stuff, so. It's kind of a tight lot, but I'd like to, be able to move forward with it, but it's just hard to do anything without knowing how much space I have.
What's the neighbors think about the variance?
I've talked with, I haven't had any problem with any of the neighbors. I've been over there working on the parking pad, and Jeremy lives on one side, and I'm not real familiar with the other couple, but everybody seems to be real happy with what's happened so far. And I guess since their house is almost on my property, I don't think they're overly concerned. I'm staying away, and then actually on the left side, if you're on Hillcrest, it'll be more than 7 feet because the lot is slanted. So I had to shorten the, initially the parking pad was supposed to be 36 feet wide, and we had to shorten it up because the way everything was angled, we couldn't get what we wanted, but we made it as big as possible and still saved 7 feet off the line or more. So.
Thoughts on that?
It seems to me like the neighbors should have a say on what's happening next to the property. I mean, that's just pop things up like these campers.
May I ask a question, sir?
Yes, sir.
When you build your house, how much space is going to be from your house to your property line?
It's 7 feet.
I'm asking for a minimum of 7 feet, but more than likely it's going to be, the house is only going to be 28 feet wide, but I would like to have enough space if I want to build a 4-foot walkway around, which is on this drawing, because it's, there's 20-foot difference from the lot to the road to the parking lot. So, instead of building multiple set of stairs, I want to be able to build a 4-foot walkway around to it. So I'm going to be at least a minimal 7 feet on each side, which the parking pad's already built. That was approved, and you can talk to any of the neighbors up there. I mean, I have a good relationship with them, and they, they've been out there, they're excited that I guess that maybe something's going on there, and it's not just going to be an abandoned lot anymore, but 7 feet minimum. More than likely on the right side is going to be more because there's a bunch of cedar trees there that they'll have to talk to my neighbor about because they're actually.
Are you planning on living there?
Maybe eventually. It is my house. It's not I'm a builder, but it's my personal house. I used to own a house here on East Tennessee for several years, 119. So I sold it.
What do you plan to do with the house till you move in?
Well, just me and my family. I have my kids.
Are you planning on building it to rent?
I am not. No, don't care nothing about that. Don't care nothing about no Airbnb or nothing like that. It's just, I'm just doing it as I go, and it's just an investment for me and my family. But my wife likes it here, so later on we may end up, we live in LJ.
Everything you're doing is on your property, right?
Yeah, yes, definitely. It's been surveyed, and it's still marked out, and everything's, I'm staying with whatever boundaries you give me, which was, like I said, the pad was 7 feet. And I had to stay less than that in some areas, but.
Yes.
It looks nice. I'm his neighbor.
That's true.
I don't have a problem with it unless anybody wants to go around there and talk to everybody. But I know I talked to one of the neighbors and they're fine with it, so. I can. I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? Any opposed?
Appreciate it. Sorry about the short notice. I couldn't get a hold of anybody today to find out if I could do this, so.
It's fine.
Okay, I'll need a motion to close then.
Make a motion.
Second.
All in favor? All opposed?
Thank you, Ned.
What I think.
Yeah, just, I had to pull off a little bit, but I'm gonna be at state. Last time, somebody wrote up something and I had it.